Hello everyone. Today Bharti and we are going to speak on the topic memorandum, sales letters and collection letters. Now let us begin with what a memorandum is. Now Bharti, can we talk about memorandum?
Yeah, but before I start with actually what is a memorandum, I would like to make one concept clear to our students. Normally, memorandum is in short called memo, and most of my students also have this misconception that a memo is something that is given to someone to warn someone or to punish someone.
Oh, so it means that it is not a negative.
Not always.
Not always a
Not
negative
always.
thing to say a memo
Yes.
or to call itself a memo.
Yes, it
Okay.
has certain purposes, and we are going to focus on the purposes for which it is used. And to start with, memorandum is something that is used internally within the organization. Now, what is this thing internally? When we talk about business letters or when we talk about letters in general, there are different kinds of letters. There are letters which go out of the organization,
Okay.
and there are letters which are written to be used internally within the organization.
Okay.
And memorandum falls under that category.
So we mean to say that we write letters within an organization which is called a memo, and we write certain letters which moves out of the organization to various customers or business houses
Yes, ma'am.
or all that.
Yes.
So let's now discuss in details about what a memo is and what is its structure and what is its function.
Sure.
Okay.
So, memorandum is normally, as has been mentioned, that it is used internally within the organization, and it is used to provide information to the employees or seek information from the employees. It can be to inform the employees about a change in the policy, or it can be also to inform the employees about some kind of policy that needs to be changed, stating the reasons, or it can be in general about informing a particular employee about the termination of the services or about promotion.
Okay, but what about termination of the services is also through a memo, or can it be only transfer, something very, very positive things?
Yes, it can be a positive thing also. That was just, I meant it as an example, that if someone is
Okay.
terminated from services, because our students do have this kind of idea that memos are something negative, so it can be
Negative.
both negative as well as positive.
Okay. And does it have a same type of a structure as a business letter, or it has a different type of a structure?
No,
think-
it does not have a same kind of a structure. A memorandum, because it is used for a different purpose. So a memorandum has a completely different layout.
Okay.
You call it a layout, a structure, or
Okay.
a format.
Okay.
And-
So let us now discuss about the structure of a memorandum.
Sure.
And
okay.
what difference does it have, or rather how memorandum as a structure differs from a business letter or any other business communication?
Okay. To start
So-
with,
ahead.
To start with, I would like to talk about the formats, general formats that we have for letters. I'm sure you students must have heard about the semi-block format, complete block format, and block format, which are used for writing different letters, whether they are business letters or any other type of letters. And especially talking about memorandum, the present day latest style is because we use computers,
Yes.
and the complete block format is very user friendly on a computer. What is a complete block format? The entire letter is written or typed along the left hand side margin, which means that we don't give any kind of spacing, or to talk in computer language, we don't give any indentation.
That's
So
right. That's right.
yeah, it is faster to type because we don't give indentation, so we don't need to count how many spaces we are giving. In that sense, it's very user friendly.
Okay.
And it is not only just the business letters, formal business letters, but also the memorandums, though they have a completely different kind of a layout from the business letters, even they follow the complete block format. And as you can see the example displayed on the screen, this is a memorandum, sample memorandum that you are having, and this is the kind of layout we have for a memorandum, wherein we mention to whom it is being sent.
Yeah, I can see something to, from, date, subject line. So which also means that we don't have to write the complete address. We don't have to write, the complete address of the addressee and the addresser, excepting we just have to give in short, the designation to whom we are addressing this particular
Exactly.
memo.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
as definitely this example is showing us, it is like to is for who is going to receive the memos, then from it is who is the sender, and then you also have a subject line, which I think which tells us that what the content of the memo is. And as we have already said that memos are very short, so naturally subject line holds a very, very important place, because we are not going to elaborate on the subject completely, but definitely the subject line will state in short what the memo contains.
Yes.
So if we could just go over the entire example that we have brought for the students, it would help them to show us what we are trying to tell them.
Okay, ma'am, before I proceed with the example, I would like to bring to focus a few things, some more things about the structure of a memorandum. As the students can see, we have to, from, date and subject, which are very similar, the similar kind of components which we have in a business letter.
Yes.
But apart from that, we do have salutation, we do have a complimentary clause in a business letter, which is not there
Yes.
in a memorandum.
Correct,
Because
correct.
it is used internally within the organization. The logic is that we don't waste time on those kind of courtesies.
Correct.
We just come straight to the point to whom it has to be communicated, who is it that is communicating, and what is the exact message or the information that needs to be communicated.
So which also means that a memo can be sent from a superior to a junior,
Yes.
or it can be sent from a colleague of the same team, from one colleague to another, a team leader to his team members. So they can communicate internally through a memo,
Yes.
instead of writing letters and all those things.
It can be the other way around also. I would just like to add on to what you said. It can be from a junior to a senior too. Like for
Okay.
example, if the boss has asked or the manager has asked a certain employee to buy some furniture or a computer or a printer for the organization,
Yes.
and if the duty has been or the task has been completed,
Yes.
a memorandum is written. If the person is not available to report on the same, a memorandum can be written and left as a piece of message that the work has been done.
Oh, that's a wonderful example, and I think that now the students have also understood that the memos are not only from the superior to the juniors, but also the other way round, from the junior level to a higher level,
Higher
they
level
can
also.
be written.
Yes. To talk about the example that we have for the
Yes.
students today, it's a memorandum which is being sent by the Dean, Faculty of Arts,
Right.
to all the teachers teaching in the Faculty of Arts, informing them about the implementation of the new CBCS system
Okay.
that has been suggested and started by the UGC. So the Dean has called for a meeting and over lunch,
Okay.
where the declaration would be done that now Faculty of Arts also would be implementing CBCS
Okay.
pattern, and what is the care that needs to be taken, and what is the pattern about, what is the structure they are going to follow with the
Okay.
examination pattern. These are the various details that the Dean would like to discuss with the teachers over lunch. So this is a memorandum inviting all the teachers to discuss about this CBCS pattern over lunch.
Okay, so definitely in this memo we can see, who is going to receive, who is sending the memo,
Exactly.
then what is the content of that, and how is the body of that particular memo written, and to whom actually the copy is being sent. So again, we also have the CC, the carbon copies.
Yeah,
to
or
whom
which are
it is.
also known as
Yes.
courtesy copies nowadays.
Yes.
So because the same memorandum would be circulated to all the teachers, so CC means that there are copies which are being circulated to each one of them.
Correct. Now, I think we have sort of explained the entire structure of memorandum and how and from whom it is written and to whom it goes to. So now I think we can move a little ahead and go on to the letters which are sent outside the organization. You know?
We have examples of two of them here with
Yeah.
us that we'll be discussing. One of them is the sales letters, and the other one is collection letters.
Okay.
So I think we should start with the sales letters,
Yes,
ma'am. You would like to say
yes.
something about it?
Well, sales letters basically are those letters, you know, where the business houses are sending to their customers who have already bought certain products to them. Not certain products, in fact they are advertising for certain products so that the customers can buy products for them. So basically we can say that these are letters which are advertising their products and services.
Exactly.
And definitely these sales letters are important because today we do have many channels from which advertising can be done. Say for example, we have the television, we have the print media, we have even magazines, you know, which are sort of using a lot of advertisements.
Radio.
Radio. But definitely, you know, letters are traditional ones, traditional advertising medium which we can say.
Yeah.
But nevertheless they are in use today also.
And not only that, if it is a new business house where they
Yes.
have low budgets, this is one of the cheapest, cost-effective means
Yes.
of using. And not only
Definitely.
that, it is very time efficient because you just draft a sales letter and you can send to as many customers as you would like to. Approach as many of them as you would
Right.
like. So it acts in a similar way as a normal advertisement. Except that some kind of effort has to be put in by the writer
Right,
in order
right,
to
right.
attract the attention of the
Correct.
prospective reader or the customer.
Yes, and I can see that this particular strategy which every business house adopts, you know, in order to draw the customers to them, they sort of follow the AIDA strategy, you know, like the AIDA acronym for AIDA.
AIDA
So I
strategy.
think we can enlighten our students about it. So any idea what what does AIDA mean? AIDA?
Yes.
Any idea you
AIDA
have?
strategy, A stands for drawing the attention. A stands for attention.
Attention.
Drawing the attention of the reader to a certain product, the product that the seller would like to advertise. And then we have the I part of it,
Okay.
that is arousing the interest of the reader to know more about the product. And then we have D, which is arousing the desire, D for desire, of the reader to buy the product.
Okay.
And then finally we have A, which is putting the reader into action, that they go to the market and buy the product.
Okay, so basically, you know, these letters are so that they arouse the attention of the customer in order that they buy the product.
Yes,
Then
exactly.
it arouses interest in them, and it most importantly it motivates them to buy the product. So that is the basic thing, because advertisement are basically to get
Motive.
the customers to them.
Yes, exactly,
So
that's right.
Definitely motivation is a very important factor.
Aspect. Now, how do we start with that? How do you draw the attention of the
Yes.
readers? Normally, we do receive such a very fine example of sales letters that we also receive as normal public and consumers are the pamphlets in the newspapers
Yes,
and the magazines,
yes.
which are addressed to general customers or consumers. And usually what attracts me is the colorful paper sometimes that they
yes,
use, or the
yes,
glossy
the
paper
glossy
that they
paper.
use. Sometimes it's the pictures or the photographs
Yes,
that they use
yes,
very innovatively,
yes.
or it is sometimes the punchlines or the taglines.
Taglines. And I think in a sales letter, the punchlines and the taglines are very important.
Yeah, because,
reading is taking place, you know.
Yes, because we are
Yes.
reading the sales letters, we are not actually watching it on television, or we are not hearing it on the radio. So yes, because it is being read, it has to be attractive, it has to be catchy, and
Correct.
it has to be something that gets ingrained in the mind of the reader.
Right.
That okay, this is something interesting. So like for example, we do keep watching these various kind of interesting advertisements on television. Like if I talk about the Honey Bunny thing, the
yes,
latest
the
one.
idea one.
The
Yes.
idea one, which even my students keep humming all the
Correct.
time.
Right.
Or else we have the Airtel song which says जो तेरा है वो मेरा
मेरा
है,
है,
and
correct.
they do keep playing pranks on each other. जो
Yes.
तेरा है वो मेरा है, and they keep playing jokes on each other, which I
Yes,
really enjoy,
absolutely,
the
yes.
childish jokes that they play on each other. But then these are really catchy. If the people, general consumers, they are attracted to these kind of songs,
Correct.
motivated to buy the product, they are really a very successful kind of idea.
Correct.
Idea.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yes, so something like that also has to be seen on the sales letter with the written communication
Yes,
also.
yes.
And that's the reason why that in many of the sales letters normally we see that it starts with a tagline or a punchline.
Punchline,
So,
absolutely.
if for example, if it is Nokia, we come across this punchline connecting people. If we talk about Micromax, it is nothing like everything.
Everything,
Now,
yes.
these kind of things, they do attract. And L'Oreal, if we see, there is a Aishwarya Rai who says you are worth it.
You're worth it.
So it makes you very conscious about yourself, and you feel okay if she is worth it, and if she says that you are also worth it, you feel like buying the product, and why not copy Aishwarya Rai?
Yeah,
It makes a lot of difference.
yes,
It has a great
definitely.
impact on the consumers. So the sales letters also need to have something like that which attracts the attention of the readers so that they continue reading the letter.
Correct. And I can see in this sample letter
Yeah.
that the ultimate is the punchline, which perhaps, we can talk more about it. Just now, as we mentioned, that the punchline and the taglines are very important.
Yeah.
The sample letter that we have shown it to our students, or which we are going to discuss, has the ultimate, which is the punchline in this.
Yeah,
And-
it's the name of the product too, ma'am.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
Very, very interesting. And when you're talking about the ultimate, we wonder what the ultimate is.
There can nothing be better than that
Better
one.
than that. And as the letter goes, eyes are the most beautiful for every person.
Definitely.
And
Even I
in
love
order
my
to,
eyes.
yes, and in order to protect your eyes, I think we need excellent sun